save our youth. I know I haven't been up here in a while because I've been working. I've been running around trying to get adjusted to the job. You know what I'm saying? I just went from not working for a year or two to back working and trying to work two jobs. I've been tired a lot, believe me. I was trying to do it in the beginning. I was trying to like work and go to school. And now that I graduated, I'm trying to work and I want to keep my channel still alive. Today I just wanted to come up here and look and talk about little family dynamics, man, and how it's like something that's lost and within our community today. You know, maybe not be for everybody it's like that, but for people where I come from, it's like that. It's like we lost that connection with each other, with our brothers, with our sisters, with our mothers, with our fathers, if they're still here. If not, rest in peace. But it's something that needs to be changed, man. And it starts with the kids. I watched a video today of this girl on Facebook. My sister showed me the video. She's like, look at this. You got to see that this is funny. The girl let her kids cuss this girl out that was talking about her. The kids couldn't have been no more than 8, 9 years old, if that, cussing up a storm like they was used to talking this way. Like it was terrible. And they thought it was funny. And I said, look, that's a shame. This is not funny with 8-year-olds and 7-year-olds cussing, trying to protect their mother. She letting these people cuss the people out on Facebook live. I guess the people that was talking about her. You should not let your kids be cussing like that on live for the whole world to see. That was ridiculous. And I was like, what's wrong with her? And she drinking wine while she doing it. I was like, this is what our communities have came to? Really? If you had a problem with somebody talking about you, first of all, you shouldn't involve your kids. They're kids. And you talking about this the first time they was cussing like that. It's not the first time. You can tell the way they were using profanity. They were used to talking like that. And that's what I mean by family dynamics have changed. Kids are not sitting down at the table with their families anymore, with their mothers and fathers and their brothers and sisters, and just eating, praying before they eat, talking. It might sound corny, but that stuff saves lives because it gives you the connection with your family and people you can talk to when you're going through stuff or you feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You got people you can talk to and get answers from and maybe give answers to. So that's what I mean by we have to change our family dynamics. Even in my own family, it seems like once my great-grandmother passed away, all my family stopped coming together. They stopped meeting for Christmas. They stopped meeting for birthdays. They stopped meeting for Thanksgiving. They stopped just coming over just to be at grandma's. It's like once my great-grandmother passed and when my grandmother passed, it was definitely over. We don't stay in communication with nobody. My two brothers, I have a brother I haven't seen in 10 years. He won't call his mother. I have another brother that comes outside when he wants to come outside, but won't come around for family events, for important things. My sister, my daughter got killed 10 years ago. My brother didn't even come to the funeral. You know how that made me feel? And it's like, we see these kids out here. I went to this meeting yesterday. I guess they started at the police station, family of victims of violent, families that were devastated by their family members being killed by people with guns or knives or whatever. Just family of victims of violence. And it was a lot of people out there, and it was nice. And I spoke, and I told them what happened in my situation with my daughter. And we need more things like that. We need more community leaders to step up. These guys are stepping up. I got to step up. I can't be lukewarm in these situations. I got to keep continuing to do what I'm doing and keep trying to help people in my community because I feel like I was a part of the destruction, so now I have to be a part of the solution. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Like when I come up here, people don't even tune in. It's like the stuff I'm talking about is not corny stuff. It's real stuff. I don't know why people won't tune in and be a part of this. I guess I have to be consistent with it. And that's what I've been trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like I get discouraged when I'm talking to nobody. Like that's like talking in the mirror. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to anybody. Nobody's hearing me. And so I was like, what's the sense of doing this if nobody ain't going to hear me? But you know what? I thought to myself and I said, you know what? This is needed. And I prayed about it. I talked to other people about it. And they was like, just keep doing what you're going to do and keep doing what you're doing. Get your content right and continue to build your page. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let the little bit of viewers or the little bit of subscribers deter me from doing what I need to do or speaking about the things I need to speak about. I don't come up here to play around and be laughing and joking. You know what I'm saying? Sure, that's a good thing too, because laughter is always good. But I'm coming up here because people are dying in our community. Kid just got killed the other day, or in my neighborhood, and coming out of the package store. Him and 5 brothers walking across the street, and dudes waiting at the light and shot him and killed him. And he ran down the street to one of my homegirls' house like a sister to me, and he died in her kitchen. And the last words was, auntie, please don't let me die in here. And he died in her house. You know how traumatic that is for her and the family that lost the son? His brother had just got murdered 10 months before that. Like, this stuff has got to stop, man. And we keep sitting around with the, I don't see nothing, I ain't hear nothing, so I'm not going to say nothing. And the whole thing that went down. This snitch thing, it's getting ridiculous. Like, so you rather not you rather not telling the person that killed your best friend so you could be labeled not a snitch and live the rest of your life knowing that you know who killed your friend and not going to say nothing? That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. You know why? Because you're not going to get no trophy for not being a snitch. You know what they're going to say 20 years from now? That's the dude that let his friend die and didn't say nothing. Or you leave him out here to kill your butt because he know you know. We got to start thinking differently, man. I don't know what's going on, man. I just can't figure it out. I be trying to talk to the young kids because it's not their faults. It's not their faults. I blame the parents and people like me. I blame me and people like me. We did this because we lived like that for so long. Yo, you can't be telling nobody, you can't snitch. You got to stand firm no matter what. No matter what go down, you can't fold under pressure. You got to always be ready. And now, as I'm older and I see that who's being affected by this behavior is us. We're being affected by this behavior. Us and only us. And until we start doing something different about it, we're going to continue to die. We're going to continue to be going to funerals. We're going to still be crying at funerals or saying another young kid has got killed. The funeral homes stay busy. And of course, life and death, they're going to stay busy. But it shouldn't be busy with kids. It should be busy with people that lived their life, healthy, long life, and passed away from natural causes. Even though I know illness happens and things like that. Okay, we can accept that. But what we can't accept is these kids dying to bullets because we're not doing nothing in our community to stop it. I mean, we need the police department, the CSI department need to be retrained because they can't know what they're doing because there's so many unsolved homicides in New Haven alone that it makes you question what's going on with the crime investigation unit. What are they doing? Because they're not solving. I don't even think I even ever seen a crime unit out investigating a crime scene like they really doing them big states, and when they got the pointers out and the directions, they trying to get the angles of the bullets and who shot from where or how it shot here. All they know is somebody shot somebody. Did you see anything? Did you see anything? And then they leave the scene. That's not cool, man. That's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. That's not cool. That's not investigating. That's not trying to solve a murder. If my daughter and her friends didn't go do their own little investigation when my daughter got killed 10 years ago, they wouldn't even know who killed my daughter. The girl was across town at her boyfriend's house smoking weed, acting like nothing never happened. And they ran down on her and it was whooping on her, and the police came. They didn't even know that was the girl that was just involved in the murder. Like they was like, what's going on? Well, this the girl that killed my sister. And that was that. But it's a lot of murder, it's a lot of crimes that don't happen like that, don't get lucky like that. That's why I respect people who don't give up on their family members when they get killed. You can't give up. You have to keep calling the police department. If they try to make your case a cold case, you got to do something about it. You got to get your own private investigators or be your own private investigator. And I hate to say it, I don't care. It's worth dying for to me. To try to save these streets and change these streets, it's worth it to me. Because these brothers are killing each other for simple reasons. And it needs to change. I got a shirt on right now in memory of my daughter where they just made the New Haven Botanical Gardens of Healing. Y'all see it right there. Dedicated to victims of gun violence. You see that? And it's nice. It's a shame that it gotta be there, but it's nice. You can go somewhere and sit down and be peaceful and remember the memories of your daughter or your son or your uncle or your cousin or your aunt or your niece or your nephew or your friend. Sometimes I get so discouraged and so mad at people, but I gotta be mad at myself too, because I was a part of that coming up. I was a part of this drug selling, the carrying the guns. I've been shot. You know, that's as far as we go with that. I've been in jail. Luckily, I never killed nobody. I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to say I never killed nobody. I'm happy to say that, because you don't have to be no gangster or no thug to be accepted and be liked in your community. You just don't. If somebody like you just because you got a name for yourself of being a shooter or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, gang members or whatever you want to call it, if somebody is around you just on them statuses alone, then they not your real friend. Because if you're a real friend, you're going to be that person's friend whether they up or down, whether they got money or not, whether they working or not, whether they can fight or not. That's just how it is, man. That's real friendship. And as a man in my 50s, I'm not going to be going around acting like I'm no young kid and confirming people to be acting like a damn fool. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that no kind of way. No kind of way will I condone somebody hurting somebody that look like them over whatever it's going to be over. I just think it don't make sense. And it's not everybody. You get some young kids that's doing the right thing, but you know what? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to read about that. And it's a shame. Look, I'm up here now. I've been up here for how long? 13 minutes. One person came in and hit the like button and left. And I appreciate that. Shout out to you, whoever you were. I would have been nice if you could have commented on something I was saying about, you know what I'm saying, family dynamics, because they are disappearing. We have no family dynamics in our inner cities. We have no mother and father in the house. You know who's in the house? The grandmother. Somebody's babysitting while these kids have kids and run the streets. You think a 17-year-old girl that have a baby gonna stop running the streets because she had a baby? No, she hoping her mother gonna babysit. Her aunt gonna babysit. And you know why they gonna do it? Because they think about the kids. It's the only reason I'm gonna do this is because my grandchild. And I don't want them being dragged all over the street and not eating good and not having a good place to sleep tonight. And see, so kids take advantage of that. My mother ain't gonna see my kid out in the street. Like, I can go let her babysit. She'll keep her for a whole week. And that's what's going on in our inner cities. I see it. Maybe not with everybody. Some people take care. They have a baby, they settle down, they take care of their kids, and they say the streets is second. My kids is first, and I respect that. I respect that, but it's some things that they can't even do now because they might be a single parent. I don't care if you're a single parent or not, man, woman. If you're a father, you have your kids. If you're a mother, you have your kids. If the father ain't there, the mother ain't there, still sit at the table with your kids and eat breakfast, eat dinner. Just how your day going? What you got planned today? What you gonna do today? And just listen. Kids need that. Sometimes we need it just to keep us in shape, just to keep us in tune with doing the right thing in life. Before I started working, I was taking my granddaughter to school, and I took her to school quite sometimes, and I loved them conversations, and I started working and I couldn't do it no more. So I kind of got upset really because I was like, man, I missed that time just talking to my granddaughter, just figuring out what she liked to do, what she doing. I love to spend that time with my granddaughter. She's 13 now, and she'll be in high school next year. I'm so proud of her. I got to see her now and hit her off with some kind of gift or something for graduating with honors into the 9th grade. So, I like that. And when I was young, I didn't have that. And it caused a strain with my son. My son's 37 years old, and me and him had a strainful relationship because I was in and out of jail, because I chose the streets instead of spending time with him a lot. I mean, I was there, but you in the streets, you're 17, you ain't really thinking about nothing like that. You think about how to get some money, how to be looking good, how to get to girls, and all this type of stuff. And I took that for granted, being in jail and running the streets and not being there for my son like I should have. And I admit that today, and I admit it to him. And he called me, his wife called me on Father's Day and invited me to his house for Father's Day. And it was so touching. It did something to me. You know what I'm saying? It did something to me. I was emotionally messed up for a minute. I shed a couple tears, and I went. And his wife had a beautiful dinner. It was nice. You know what I'm saying? And he has a nice place, a nice home. You know what I'm saying? He's doing good for himself. He's working. He's got his master's degree in whatever field he's in, electrical engineering. And I'm proud of him. And you know what? If it took me to be an idiot out in the streets for my son and his family to have a good life, then I'll do it again. You know why? Because he's living in, and he grew up in a rough area, Newhartville, in New Haven. And he grew up in a rough area, but he chose not to live that life. He chose to go to school after he finished high school. He chose to get a career, and that's what he did. He met him a beautiful woman, and he got married. He got a kid. He got a daughter, my granddaughter, beautiful. I think she's 10 years old. And he has an older daughter in the previous relationship, but that relationship is rocky. Why? Because I think she's in college now. He raised her, though. He had her since she was in 4th grade to 10th grade. But she got to that age where she wanted to start rebelling. I guess once he had his other daughter with his wife, she started probably feeling some kind of way. I don't know. So she started rebelling a little bit, so things ain't work out. She want to go back to her grandmother's house, which I don't understand. You got a father that loves you and wants you to do the right thing, and he just puts some structure in front of you so you can end up doing the right thing, and you don't want the structure, so you rather live back with your grandma and don't fend further your education, and it's killing my son. That's the reason why I guess he was ready to restructure and reinvent our relationship, because he sees what happened with his daughter and it's killing him. And I don't like to see my son hurting like that, even though he ain't gonna. Well, he does admit that it bothers him, and I know it's more than bothering him; it's hurting him, because it was hurting me not to be connected to my son, my firstborn. I used to always try to act tough like it didn't matter, but it did matter. It did matter that me and my son had a messed up relationship. It did matter. So when he called me and said, his wife said, come over, and we sat there, and listen, the woman, my daughter-in-law, can cook. She can outdo some of these 5-star restaurants. I'm not just saying that because that's my son's wife. She can cook. And it was like, she didn't even get involved in the relationship, the conversation. She came in, she let me in, boom. Showed me where he was at. I went in there and we ate a little appetizers first, and then we had the main course. We watched the basketball game, and it was lovely. It was beautiful. I couldn't ask for anything better. Best time of my life. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That was the best time of my life. And that's why I'm thinking about families and other families and stuff that need to be done. And I'm saying that we need to do better in these communities and try to get these people back with their families or talking to their families if their family's around. And that's what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know me and a few of my brothers that have lost kids, we got our little Fathers Cry organization. We trying to reinvent ourselves with the organization. We trying to get other fathers to come up and talk and join so we can get bigger and grow larger and maybe leave Connecticut and go to other states and hook up with these other brothers and people that might have lost they. Because right now, when kids get murdered or killed or whatever, it's always, where's the mothers at? Where's the mothers? I want to give my condolences to the mothers. I want to talk. Nobody talks about the fathers. And that's why we started this organization, because the fathers are there too. We cry too. And that's why the program is called Fathers Cry Too. Because it kills us when we lose our kids. And a lot of us are in our kids' lives. And that's why I don't understand why it's not, where's the father at? It's always the mother. And that's in everything. You know what I'm saying? If sometimes women sit back and stay on the state for over 10 years, I call that being lazy, because you could have found a job in 10 years. And the father has to pay all that money back by his lonesome. But she gets to spend it all on herself. But the father has to pay it all back. It shouldn't even be like that. It should be a 50-50 split. Everything else is supposed to be a 50-50 split. They take all the money and spend it. And some of them do the right thing with the money, but the smart ones that do the right thing with the money, they don't stay on the state too long. They stay on it just in time until they get enough to get themselves situated, until they find a job, finish school, whatever. I'm cool with that. But when you stay on the state 15 and 20 years just sitting around doing nothing, that's ridiculous. And then the man has to pay that back. Now he's a deadbeat father because he end up getting incarcerated, doing time, and they kept billing him and charging him and charging him and charging him. I don't call that being a deadbeat. I call that being the state doing what they do to keep the family dynamics messed up. See, back in the days, well, you people that's not old enough, they started this stuff back in the households of black people. They said, we'll give you some money to take care of yourself. But if we come by your house and we ever find a man living here, if we find the iron in here, if we find a nice refrigerator in here, if we find extra clothes and more than one pair of shoes, we're going to stop giving you money. So the women used to be scared and fearful and tell a man he can't live there, the kid's father, because I'm not going to get no assistance. And that's how it was back then. And they would come out and actually check your houses to see what you had in there. Now, if you don't tell me that's control in a modern way, a modern day slavery, then something wrong with you. Because I got an iron, I can't get help with my kids. Because I have a TV, I can't get help with my kids. And that's what I mean. It's crazy. That's why nobody should want to be under that today. Everybody should be self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Going to school. Trying to build your own career, trying to have your own business, not working for nobody. See, I got to work for somebody because I was an idiot for most of my life. That's why I'm working at 55. I'm supposed to be on a beach somewhere, calling the management company saying everything going all right with the properties. Okay, if you need me, just call me. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. With the brains I got and how smart I am, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But I was an idiot to the streets, into a bankroll of money in my pocket instead of a bankroll of money being in the bank. See, I was an idiot. And see, I'm trying to preach different to these young kids now. Don't make the mistakes I made. Because, see, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, you kids only 16, 17, you have a chance. You have a chance to retire at 30. If you start going to school, if you start working at 18 years old. Well, not 30, you know, at 40. Unless you do good and you make a lot of money and you can sit back and you got your, well, I'm going to say it right, 30, yeah, because you could retire at 30 if you got your own business and you running your own business for about 10, 15 years, you can retire. and sit back and let your money just do all the work, or let your businesses make all the money for you, your properties or whatever. You won't be in my situation having to work 55 and living paycheck to paycheck. And see, that's what I'm trying to help. And believe me, I got some things lined up, but I ain't gonna really talk about it because I want it to come into fruition before I even start talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to correct my mistakes. Cause see, and I still go out in my neighborhoods. People see me, oh, what you doing out here? I get kind of mad at them people. You know why? Because this is where I've been all my life. And just because I'm not indulging in selling drugs and I'm not into the street things no more, I can't hang in my neighborhood where all my people at. I don't have to live here. I don't have to be here every day, but I will come through and talk to people that I've hung around for the past 30 years. I'm not supposed to talk to them no more. See, that's what some people get it twisted at. How you going to help your people if you're not around your people? Just how? How you going to do that? That's what I say about these young kids that's rapping and making all this money, and they still acting like they living in the cities. For instance, I'm gonna take the young kid, Little Durk. You keep poking the bear with mentioning people that's dead, and you don't have to do that because you already made it out of your situation. You have millions of dollars. Why are you doing that? You want to die? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, you don't even live in Chicago no more, and you still act like you have to come around and act like you this tough guy when you can look you in the face and tell you not built like that. You got money, yeah, you probably built like that as far as shooting and stuff like that, but as far as being tough, and you ain't tough, because if you're in the prison system, you'll be a whole different way. Around real men, real murderers, real gangsters, a dude that can kill you with his hands. Like, you not built like that. So stop acting like that. You made it out of your situation, bro, where you had to carry guns every day. You had to shoot to survive and live. I understand that. But what I'm saying is you made it out of that. So why would you go back to that? That's just like kids that come around here that's not from around here and living in some suburban areas and doing good and driving nice cars and working good jobs, but you want to come hang with the gang members. Why? So you can seem like you tough, so people can say, oh, he tough, he cool, he with it. No, you can be cool and with it just being yourself. There's a lot of kids out here in these streets that's connected with the wrong people that don't want to be connected to with the wrong people. But you know what? They don't have no choice because they live here. They're in this environment. As soon as they step off their off their porch, they're in a gang environment. They're in a drug-related environment. They're in a violent environment. So they have no choice. If they don't do it, they're going to get bullied or picked on. And so they need a way out, but they have no way. And see, I'm trying to become that way out. It's your boy J Hub, man. Save our youth, man. Family dynamics is important. If you think it's not, then you need to reevaluate the way you're thinking. Your thought process needs to be changed because family dynamic is serious. And if you got a beef with your family members, you need to try to figure it out, sit down, talk it through. Even if you don't apologize, just talk it through and see what the problem is and see if it really been worth it. Sometimes you got to sit down and see if it's really worth it. Is it worth not speaking to your brother or your sister? Somebody you grew up with, that you came out the same womb, that y'all shared probably the same bedroom, the same kitchen, the same bathroom for years, and now you tell me you ain't talked to them in 20 years over some nonsense, over some money probably. You know, a lot of us fall out over when somebody passed away, who's going to be the beneficiary, who's going to get the money, who's going to get the house, who's going to get the cars, and they beef over that and they stop talking to each other. And the person who passed away probably turning in their grave when they see that type of behavior because it's wrong and it shouldn't be that way. It's your boy J Hub, man. I gotta go to work, man. Y'all tune into your boy. Subscribe to your boy channel, like your boy channel, comment on your boy stuff. Stop doing me like that. I'm a real dude. I ain't fake, I ain't phony. I ain't in no streets, I ain't no thug, I ain't no gang member. Never was. Do I know how to fight? Yeah, I know how to fight. But I don't fight no more. It's your boy J Hud. I'm out of here, man. Peace.